Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. All right, Ben, I've had this bourbon. What's so special about it?
Well, I think most people have. Obviously, we've got some Blantons on the bar. So we're going to do a little experiment here, and that's what makes this video a little bit special. We're trying something new. We've had Blantons before.
Sure.
But friend of the channel, Mikey Likey Whiskey.
Thanks,
Thank you, Mike. Actually sent us a sample of Blanton's Takara Red.
Okay.
So this is the Japanese-only release.
It's actually American bourbon that they send to Japan.
American bourbon is a redundancy.
Well, I know, but just
yeah. So this is the version.
those playing at home.
Yeah, for this is the one that they release in Japan. I don't know anything different about it. They're both 93 proof. There are some rumors. I can't find a ton of information on this, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
Some rumors that maybe it's aged a couple years longer.
Okay.
But the interesting thing about this, coincidentally, the bottle that I had that we just opened before
Just started
turning the camera on,
Yep.
is the exact same dump date, year and day, as the Japanese version. So what are the odds of that?
Well, I mean, 365 days. What? Okay, so what is that dump date, just in case anyone has the same?
So it is September 13th, 2021.
Wow.
And so, yep, September 13th, 2021.
Okay.
So on the same day, these both got dumped into bottles. One got shipped to Japan, one stayed right here in America.
Yep.
One ended up at Mike's place, and one ended up here. And just so we thought what we would do is do a little blind side by side and see if we, notice a difference between the two.
And maybe they're the exact same thing. Like some just got put in a bottle that got sent to Japan, and it's exactly the same. They're single barrels. Blanton's is famous for that.
Yep.
And so they could be distinct in that regard, but maybe there's nothing else special. They're both 93 proof.
Could be, yeah. I'm not even sure the bottle looks different.
So before we started recording, we poured and then mixed up the glasses, so we don't know which whiskey is in which glass, and we may not be drinking the same one at the same time because they're...
Yep, mixed independently.
So since we've never had either, well, we've certainly had Blantons, it's hard for us to say, okay, this one for sure is this. We just want to see if we agree that we see something unique on one that could be the standout.
So far on the nose, there's a slight difference, but I would say it's maybe more of a difference that would be attributed to a single barrel versus something different done with it. I don't know though. My one on the left here is much more bold, actually.
It's always unfair, but it was the one on the right for me is much more bold. They
Really?
were poured right one after the other.
I got to tell you what though, the one
on my right, much more bold. The one on the left, I'm not getting a lot out of.
So we're at least both noticing something of a difference.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into the palate.
Yeah,
Cheers.
that's noticeable. All right. Nice spice, good age.
I gotta tell you, the one that I'm having, obviously these are both Blantons. Blantons comes with a lot of hype.
Sure.
It is kind of the
Really?
entry-level unicorn, if you will. They should put just a little horn on the horse. And we've said this before, we don't need to beat this topic into the ground,
I
but
think people
Blanton's
know.
is a fairly basic bourbon. Like, there's nothing really special about it.
It's 93 proof and
Usually 6 years. Rumored to be about 6 years.
And if it were $50 to $60, it would be fine. And if you like it, you like it. But it's got a cool bottle and it's hunted like crazy. So
yeah.
But flavor-wise, and I don't know which one I'm drinking, one of them's nice.
Yeah. My one on the left here is definitely, the nose is a little more bold. I think the palate was a little more bold too. I'm going no water between these since it's essentially the same bourbon.
I think there's a difference. That one's got vanilla.
I think there's definitely a difference. Is it enough of a difference that I would say this one's probably aged longer versus the other one? I don't know if I could really say that I know that. It could just be, I think, attributed to the fact that they're single barrels and there's going to be some variance.
Totally.
there.
Like if we were to open up, and not that we need to do this, but open up a different bottle of Blanton's, I think we would see just as much difference. Like, they're very similar. It's obviously the same in many ways, but I think they're...
Gosh, now they're starting to, after a couple of sips, they're starting to even out a little bit.
They always do that.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to blend a little more into each other as far as the flavor profile and the kind of level of flavor.
Getting a little bit of the frosting from a brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tart on the first glass. Kind of a nice sweet, a little bit of cinnamon. Subtle.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with this one, like even, you know, finding too much of a difference now that I'm a little further into it.
So I agree, I don't get a lot of difference, but if I had to pick, I would say this one is better. Like if I were to say first place, I would say this one is my preferred.
I think the one on the right is starting to pull ahead a little bit. But honestly, I don't know, they're so similar now. At first, the one on the left came across as a little more flavorful and a little more just kind of had a little something extra.
I wonder if that's a better way to measure it, is like your first impression, because obviously the more you drink of it, the more it affects your, you know, your ability to differentiate.
Yeah, that's true. All right, one more sip here, and then we'll get into the reveal, so we don't make this drag out too long.
Yeah.
I haven't had Blantons in a long time.
I agree. Well, I don't have any idea when the last time you had Blantons is, but I too have not had Blantons in quite a while.
It's very disappointing. It's just, I mean, I like having a bottle on the shelf, and if somebody gifted me one, I would be thrilled about it.
Yeah, it's fine, but yeah.
It's just
don't overpay for it.
Yeah. All right, I think these two are very, very similar. On that last, since first impression, this one was more bold in both regards, and they've kind of evened out. I'm going to give the edge to the one on my left.
Okay, but I would agree with what you just say, except it happens to be this glass.
Okay, so A is the bottle, B is the sample from Japan.
Yes.
So you like your one on the right better?
Right.
Okay, let's see what it is, the big reveal. That is A.
Okay.
So that's the regular one. I like my one on the left a little bit better, and it is A.
Wow.
So we both picked that one as having a little bit more of a bold sort of flavor profile.
Okay. So I think that confirms, well, that disproves our theory that they're exact same thing. They're at least, and we already knew they were different barrels, so they...
Different barrels. I don't know if I would say that there's definitely a noticeable age difference between the two of them. I would think that you could just attribute the slight difference to just being a single barrel.
Yep, I would agree.
All right, well, now let's get into the bonus content version or section of the video. If you watch our channel, you know we got to do the blend. So it's Blantons and Blantons that both taste very similar to each other. Let's see if the blend tastes similar.
So, I mean, the one thing that's going to be different, though, obviously 93 proof and 93 proof. So 186 proof is really going to step it up a notch.
Quick with the math there. Good for you. Yeah, tastes like Blantons, I guess.
Yeah, in the 12 years now. I mean, it's helpful.
That's true, yeah. In short, I don't know. I mean, thank you, Mike, very much for the sample, because you get to experience kind of drinking something different.
Well, I would say it's a good bottle of blends, but
yeah,
don't fly to Japan just to pick up a bottle of blends.
Yeah, but if you pick up another one, it might be even better than this one, because again, I think the difference between them was negligible, I would say.
Sure, within the range of another single barrel itself.
Somewhere else in the rick house, got a little bit more heat exposed to it, a little more age, or something like that. But overall, just Blantons in general,
I think it's fine.
I just don't get it.
Well, it's the horse. It's 100% the horse.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, well, this has been a little side-by-side comparison of Japanese Blanton's Takara Red versus regular old American Blantons. On the Bourbon Note, I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time. They don't actually make it in Japan.
Well, no, I'm just messing with you.